Thank you for listening to a nighttime adventure bedtime story from nighttimeadventures.com. Visit our website to view hundreds of exciting bedtime stories for children of all ages.
The Nighttime Adventures of Max and Molly, the Town Full of Frowns. Max and Molly, two best friends with wild imaginations, shared a secret. Every night, when they fell asleep, they would embark on fantastic adventures together. It was their secret world, where they explored mysterious lands, encountered magical creatures, and discovered new ways to have fun. Each night, they couldn't wait to close their eyes and see what exciting adventure awaited them. Tonight, as their eyelids grew heavy, the adventure began. They found themselves in a quaint little town, with cobblestone streets, charming brick buildings, and trees lining the sidewalks. But as they looked around, they noticed that the people in the town seemed unhappy. Their faces were long, and their shoulders were slumped, as if they carried the weight of the world on them. It seemed as if the joy had been sucked out of the town, leaving only sadness and despair. Max and Molly exchanged glances and knew what they had to do. They were going to make sure everyone in the town had a good day. They were determined to bring back joy and happiness to the people who lived here. Hand in hand, they set off on their mission to spread kindness and cheer throughout the town. The first person they came across was an older lady sweeping the steps outside her store. Her back was bent, and her arms trembled as she tried to clear away the leaves and dirt. Max and Molly didn't hesitate. They ran over to the lady and eagerly offered their help. The lady looked at them, surprised but grateful. Her eyes twinkled as she handed over the broom to Max, who energetically swept the steps, while Molly picked up the leaves and debris. As they worked, the lady's face lit up with a smile, and she laughed heartily when Max tried to twirl the broom like a baton, accidentally flinging a pile of leaves into the air. When the steps were clean, the lady thanked Max and Molly with a warm hug, and the friends could see that their mission was off to a great start. Next, they noticed a young mother with two small children, trying to cross a busy road. The car zipped by without stopping, and the mother looked frustrated and worried. Max and Molly knew they had to help. Molly stepped out into the road, holding her hand up high, signaling the cars to stop. As the cars came to a halt, Max took the mother's hand, and together, they guided the family safely across the street. Once they reached the other side, the mother's face softened, and her eyes sparkled with gratitude. She thanked Max and Molly, her voice trembling with emotion. The children, giggling with delight, hugged their newfound friends before they all continued on their way. As Max and Molly walked through the town, they saw a man struggling with his groceries. He juggled bags in both hands, trying to keep everything balanced, but suddenly, one of the bags tore, spilling fruits and vegetables all over the sidewalk. Max and Molly sprang into action, helping the man gather the scattered groceries. They even found an extra bag in a nearby trash bin, which they used to carry the groceries to the man's car. The man, overwhelmed by their kindness, couldn't thank them enough. He insisted on giving Max and Molly a few of his favorite fruits as a token of his appreciation. With huge smiles and full hearts, Max and Molly continued their journey, spreading happiness throughout the town. Over the course of the day, Max and Molly performed all kinds of good deeds. They helped an elderly man find his lost glasses, played fetch with a lonely dog, and even cheered up a sad little girl by blowing her the biggest bubble she'd ever seen. They were like two little rays of sunshine, brightening up the town with their warmth and kindness. Slowly but surely, the people of the town began to smile again. The once somber atmosphere transformed into one of joy and camaraderie. Everywhere Max and Molly went, they noticed people helping each other out, a young man assisting an elderly woman with her groceries, neighbors banding together to fix a broken fence, and children sharing their toys in the park. Even the stray animals were fed and cared for by the townspeople. As Max and Molly continued their mission to spread happiness in the town, they stumbled upon a small community garden that had fallen into disrepair. Weeds had overtaken the once lush flower beds, and the once vibrant colors of the flowers had faded. Max and Molly rolled up their sleeves and set to work, pulling weeds, planting new seeds, and watering the thirsty plants. As they worked, the beauty of the garden slowly began to return, and soon it was a vibrant oasis of colorful flowers and lush greenery. The townspeople who passed by couldn't help but stop and admire the garden, the sight of the blossoming flowers bringing smiles to their faces and a renewed sense of pride in their community. Later, they noticed a group of children sitting glumly on a bench near a basketball court. The basketball hoop had been damaged, and the children had no way to play their favorite game. Max and Molly knew they had to help, so they approached the children and asked if they could try fixing the hoop. With the combined efforts of Max, Molly, and the children, they managed to repair the basketball hoop, and the kids immediately began playing with renewed excitement. The sound of laughter and the sight of the children enjoying themselves brought happiness not only to the kids themselves but also to the adults who stopped to watch the lively game. Max and Molly also came across a mural on the side of a building that had been vandalized with graffiti. They could see the original beauty of the artwork beneath the layers of spray paint and knew that restoring the mural would bring joy to the people who walked by it every day. They found some paint and brushes in a nearby art supply store and, with the store owner's permission, set to work carefully cleaning and repainting the mural. As they worked, a small crowd gathered, watching in awe as the vibrant colors and intricate designs re-emerged from beneath the graffiti. The crowd clapped and cheered when Max and Molly finished their work, and the sight of the restored mural brought a renewed sense of hope and happiness to the townspeople. In yet another part of the town, Max and Molly saw an elderly man sitting alone on a park bench, feeding some pigeons. They could tell that he was lonely, so they sat down beside him and struck up a conversation. They listened intently as he told them stories of his youth, the adventures he'd had, and the love he'd shared with his late wife. The more they talked, the more the man's face lit up, his eyes twinkling with happiness and gratitude for their company. As they said their goodbyes, Max and Molly knew that their simple act of spending time with the man had brought joy to his heart. With each act of kindness, Max and Molly left a trail of happiness in their wake. They showed the townspeople that even in the face of sadness and despair, there was always hope, and that the power of kindness and compassion could transform a town and the lives of those who lived there. As the sun began to set, Max and Molly knew that their adventure was coming to an end. They looked around at the happy faces, the acts of kindness, and the vibrant energy that had returned to the town, and they felt the deep sense of satisfaction. They had made a difference in the lives of the people in the town, and their hearts swelled with pride and happiness. Hand in hand, Max and Molly walked to the town square, where a celebration had started. The townspeople had gathered to dance, sing, and enjoy each other's company. The once quiet and unhappy town was now a place filled with laughter and love, all thanks to Max and Molly's determination to bring joy back into the lives of the people there. As they stood at the edge of the celebration, Max and Molly felt a familiar tug in their hearts, signaling that it was time for them to return to their own world. They closed their eyes and whispered their goodbyes, knowing they would never forget the magical adventure they had shared. When they opened their eyes, they found themselves back in their cozy beds, the soft morning sunlight streaming through their windows. They both wore wide, happy smiles on their faces, remembering the incredible adventure they had experienced together. They knew that they had made a difference in the lives of the people in the town, and they felt a warmth in their hearts that could only come from spreading kindness and happiness. As Max and Molly got ready for the day, they vowed to carry the lessons they had learned in their dream with them. They promised to be kind, helpful, and compassionate in their everyday lives, just as they had been in their adventure. And as they stepped outside to greet the world, their hearts were filled with the knowledge that even the smallest act of kindness could create a ripple effect, bringing happiness and joy to those around them.